Hello and welcome to this video where we'll be learning special cases. Obviously there are two types of special cases. One is a difference of squares and the other is perfect squares. Okay, so to identify a difference of squares we have to look over here and we can see that there's no middle term, as this is in standard form without a middle term. The middle term in this is obviously like 30x, but there's none in here. And there also has to be a negative over here. Alright, so now what we are going to do is we are going to square root this 9. Okay? We can see that this 9 is a perfect square, also known as it can perfectly be squared by itself, so like it'll turn into a whole number. So 9 squared is going to be 3, 3 times 3 is 9. And yeah, so we're going to write that down. 3x. Okay, now we're going to leave some room. We're going to square this. Okay, 49 squared is 7. Okay, so 7. I'm going to put that in brackets. And because we're doing fracted form, there's obviously two sides to this equation. So we're going to do another one. And because this is a difference of squares, which is a minus sign right here, one is going to be a positive and the other is going to be a negative. And that's really all that there is. I was missing a bracket over here. That's really all that there is. If you want to check your work, you can do that by expanding. So let me just do that real quick. 9x squared x, okay, negative 1 equals negative 49. Okay, now when we cancel that out, these are going to cancel out because that's a positive and that's a negative and that's a positive. And we are back to what we left off with. Okay, so now let's move on to perfect squares. So right here, obviously there's a middle term. So what would we do? We look on the ends over here and we can see these two numbers are both perfectly divisible by a whole number. So 9 squared is obviously 3 and 25 squared is obviously 5. Now, to check if this is a perfect square, what we are going to do is we're going to get this 3, we're going to multiply by the 5. So 3 times 5 equals 15. Okay, but we're not done yet. Now we're going to multiply by 2. So 15 times 2 equals 30. Now if you look here, this is also a 30. So it's matching. So we can see that that's obviously a perfect square. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we are going to get the 3x from obviously square rooting this. And we're going to add the plus 5. The reason we aren't adding the 30 is because when we expand it, oh, I forgot the square over here. If we were to expand this equation, it's going to look like this, plus 5 and 3x plus 5. Okay, if we were to expand this, it would turn into 9x squared. That. Now we're going to go to the 5s. It's going to go plus 15x plus 15x because of this. Now plus 5 times 5 equals 25. It's going to, when we simplify that, plus 30x plus 25. Now if we were to look here, this is the same as the top. And so that's basically how you do perfect squares and difference of squares. That was special cases. Thank you for watching.